has never been about the car. It has always been about where that car can take you and who you can share those memories with. All right, today's an exciting day, and that is because I've got a flatbed trailer behind me. There she is. So yes, I really did just buy another Suzuki Samurai. Long story short, when my parents were my age, they had a Suzuki Samurai, and it was super clean, and my parents went on all kinds of adventures with the Suzuki Samurai. That Samurai was the very first car I learned how to drive in the desert, and eventually the Samurai wasn't really serving a purpose and it got sold. That part of the story ends there. I know my parents have always missed their Samurai, so I'm here to spread the love and surprise them with another Suzuki Samurai. This car is definitely going to require a bit of blood, sweat, and tears to get to the point where I want it to be at, but I'm not afraid of that, and you know, that'll make it even more worthwhile. All right, here she is. Quick little view of what we got here. Like, look at these things. And the body's pretty straight. Gauge cluster's out. Seats are gonna get reupholstered. They're halfway decent door panels. Popping a wheelie. I already have another motor pretty much ready to go. I don't know for sure that it's a good motor. I'm just really hoping it is. The previous owner of it said it was, and he just removed it to do a 16 valve swap. So I'm really banking on his word, hoping that it works and it's better than what's in here right now. And since I'm tall, I should be able to pull this off without a seat. Actually sounds pretty good today. It definitely sounds like it's a couple seconds away from blowing up. Let's see how long it takes us to keep this thing out and the new one in. It's actually pretty clean. And I've got the engine basically ready to hook up to a hoist and pull that out. Now there's always a very high chance of me getting sketchy, so kind of a mega bummer. The engine hoist I have for getting this engine out of this car, it leaked like enough fluid to where it's not doing anything at all. I tried this once before and it kind of worked. We've got our ratchet strap on our steel beam to a chain, hook there, hook there. There she is. Oh, it's pretty sketchy, but we got it. I wasn't really gonna film any of this, but it is pretty exciting because it's our ceremonial first car wash for this thing. Definitely out of gas. So I'm gonna call it there for now, and we'll be back soon with another update. We have a turned flywheel ready to go, oil filter, coolant, oil, calendar, jack, oil. Here's our donor motor. It's used, so it's a little bit of a mystery motor, but I have faith that it's gonna work. I hope so. It has a new carb and a new alternator, so that makes it worthwhile at least. Alright, so that is a wrap for tonight. It's bolted into the motor mounts, the transmission's connected, so all the major important stuff is there. Hopefully, fire this thing up and take it for a drive tomorrow. Should we do it? We're back from the tire shop and we now have tires on our wheels that don't have huge holes in the sidewall. So we went with the Goodyear Wrangler in a size of 235/75. The Wranglers I went with specifically because they have a decent tread pattern and they have decent enough sidewall protection. So if we air down a little bit, it should be able to handle most little rocks and bumps and not get too bad. This paint is literally coming off just by itself. So I'm just gonna use some 220 grit sandpaper and just go around, scuff the outside, scuff the inside of the wheel. Then we're gonna shoot it all with some Rustoleum. Here's a little before and after comparison. This is kind of what they're looking like before, like super faded, kind of yellowy, and there's our after. So while the paint on my wheels are drying, good time to do some maintenance. Don't know if those have ever been replaced, but it doesn't matter now because we got new ones on there. Just like that, we are back on all fours. Basically everything inside of the Samurai got wet. So right now I'm drying this stuff out, pulled all the carpet. Found some more vintage newspaper here. A View of Vegas, January 10th, 1993. Got all the carpet out of the car. I'm gonna do my best to restore it and clean it up. I already did this piece once. In comparison, it does look nicer than the stuff I haven't done. So I'm gonna just keep going at it. All right, so the goal for the next couple hours is to remove all the unnecessary things like the door handles, the mirrors, the rest of the top, headlights. I need to get the windshield out at some point. Also need to pull the rear targa bar here. The door panels are coming out anyway, so we're gonna pull those off. We're also doing these inner door seals, so the glass needs to come out anyway to do those, so I'm going to pull the glass out regardless. So we got the bumpers off, the lights, front and rear. Really need to get this windshield out next, and then I need to pull these pieces off, and then I need to prep it and sand it, get the fenders off. There you have it. Straight into the trash can. So now it's really a project car. It's got no windshield. Now when I paint, I can sand up to here. I can put a tape line in there. The seal needed to be replaced anyway, obviously, so that's why I pulled the whole windshield out. All right, so not gonna lie, the worst part of the paint prep so far has definitely been getting this old decal off. Razor blade acetone, razor blade acetone. Once we get the fenders off and these other cross members off, we can buff the whole car, and that should be the last thing we have to do. So today is one of the most exciting days of this project, and that is because it is officially paint day. We're at the home stretch for the paint project, hopefully. Instant gratification is what they call it, and that's what I'm ready for. Pretty long day today, but right now we have a fully painted gold Suzuki Samurai in tow right now. Finally got the car here, out in some daylight and in some sunshine. Thank you to Brooke and David for your help. I couldn't have done this without you guys. Check this thing out. This is our old bumper. It ended up having a little dent here, so it was kind of pressed in a little bit. It's not super noticeable, but it was enough to make me want to replace it because it needed to be repainted anyway. So here I have my old bumper, fresh out of a couple coats of paint. I used some Rustoleum, 3 coats of semi-gloss, 2 coats of clear. Here we have our bumper caps. Those just go on the end here and cover up the rest of the side. As you can see, much better than what was on there. Still looking good. And we have a replacement windshield. Everyone kind of gives you a little bit different idea of how to get these things in. And everyone that pretty much says they've done this says they've broken one the first try. So low expectations, but we're gonna try our best. I found it easy to start on a corner and then work your way across basically until you get kind of close, and then you get all 4 corners in. That way it's kind of pulling itself together a little bit. We got this. Now we're gonna try our weed whacker line. Basically it starts here at the bottom, and the goal is to be able to pull this out, which will pull the seal up and fall into the lip. So this might be the first time in the history of this car that something actually went our way. Boom! Definitely required a lot of patience, a little bit of finesse, but it's in, and I'm stoked. Here we are. Boom! It definitely was not easy, but very surprisingly, it worked. We used a couple of these little plastic tools like this, and then also use these big clamps to kind of hold in the top part of the windshield once I was getting to that point, and just apply a little bit of pressure to keep the windshield in place. So without these, it would have been difficult. Weed whacker wire worked out really well too. So windshield's in, we're just waiting on a few parts and we'll get to the next step soon. Right, so we're at the point in this project where it feels like we have only a few things left to do, but in reality, we have a ton of things left to do. Right now we have these fresh, brand new decals. I'm gonna use soap and water. I'm gonna use a little squeegee like this to press out the soap and water, and to press this on like that. This colorway is legit. This is exactly what I was looking for. One little section at a time, keep working my way back. All right, so right now, as you can see, we have a complete and total mess. We're working on getting some insulation here on the inside fender wells. So this side does not have insulation. This side does have insulation. Here's our insulation progress so far. We got some on the trans tunnel, up there, up in there, some on the floorboard here, and also one on that panel back there. Insulation on the inside of the doors. We're gonna put the Targa bar back in soon. We're gonna finish the insulation on that side. Hopefully we can get the interior back in this thing soon so that it starts to look like the car again. All right, so I'm actually really excited for this. This is SMS Headliner's full door panel kit. So we got our freshly painted grille here, looking nice and clean. We got our freshly painted mesh. We have these little bars here that go right up there. What I'm really stoked about, that light bar there will be mounted onto this piece here. Basically this piece is going to sit right there. Light bar is going to be on there, and then it's going to be tucked behind our grill. So I'm going to finish retrofitting that now and see if I can get it to mock up and look pretty good. Here's where our light bar is going to sit. It's a little bit tight against our radiator. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our grill. So we're going to trim out this bar here. Would you look at that? Josephine! There we go! Oh god. Ow, right in the little passenger. So as you can see, we have a nice milky substance in the head of our old used block that we put in the car. Rather than doing a head gasket, which looked like it had already been done, I decided I would pull this out and try one more used motor attempt before we give in and go full rebuild. We resealed it, we put some new accessories on it like timing belt, water pump. I'm really hoping that this engine works out for us and isn't a total waste of time like that one was.
I don't know for sure that it's a good motor. I'm just really hoping it is.
But there's only one way to find out. Okay, so it's 2 days before Christmas. We decided it was as good of time as ever to offload this thing. It's gonna be a Christmas present for my parents because they deserve it, and that's a good enough reason for me to want to go through all this work and do this. I'm super excited for the surprise. Also just really excited to get rid of this thing because it's been way too long of a process to get to this point. But it's at the point where it's presentable. It looks pretty nice. I'm stoked on it. I think they're gonna be stoked on it. We're gonna just offload it here. We're gonna hide it in my brother's garage, and it's gonna be the best Christmas morning surprise ever. All right, it's Christmas morning. I'm trying to keep a low profile and do this pretty quick. We got our bow. I think that's good enough, so now we wait. Yeah, it's from us.
Oh man, this is making me nervous.
Oh.
What's that for? What in the world? No. Nuh-uh.
Look, it's got a bow on it.
How in the world did you do that? What the hell?
It's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. So this is in addition to all the ones we already know about? Is this another samurai?
A vehicle is just a replaceable object. But at the end of the day, the memories that we can make because of them will last a lifetime.